Did you ever think someone could set fire to a legal document on your porch, cackling like a VY Lane in broad daylight? That's exactly what Lisa Harper, the iron-fisted queen of our Sunny Meadows Homeowners Association, did last Tuesday. She stood there in her pristine blazer, watching my fine notice burn to ash with a smirk that could curdle milk. "No one finds me," she hissed, oblivious to my doorbell camera recording every second of her meltdown. That VY Deo didn't just expose her, it turned our quiet neighborhood upside down and sent Lisa from HOA royalty to a criminal defendant faster than you could say. Property standards. It all started the week before when I found an envelope in my mailbox, stamped with the Sunny Meadows HOA logo. I groaned, already bracing for trouble. Sure enough, it was a violation notice, signed with Lisa's jagged handwriting that made her name look like a warning shot. According to her, I'd committed 3 unforgivable sins. My trash cans lingered on the curb 4 hours past pickup. My mailbox was canyon taupe, instead of the sacred desert taupe. And me personal favorite garden hose was sloppily coiled. The fines totaled $375, due in 10 days. As a CIVYL engineer who deals with real safety codes daily, I couldn't believe the pettiness. I'd lived in Sunny Meadows for 3 years, and in that time, Lisa had gone from an overzealous board member to a suburban dictator. She cruised the streets in her silver SUV, phone ready to snap photos of every drooping petunia or misplaced lawn gnome. Most neighbors paid her fines to avoid her wrath. The Wilsons learned that the hard way last summer when they questioned a fine for their kids' chalk art. Lisa somehow misplaced their pool pass, locking them out for 6 weeks. By the time it was fixed, the kids had missed the whole swim season. But I wasn't about to roll over. I dug out the HOA bylaws, which I keep for moments like this, and found 2 key rules. Violation notices need 2 board signatures, not just the president's, and non-safety issues require a warning before fines. Lisa's notice had only her name, and I'd never gotten a warning. So I fired off a polite but firm email to the entire board, challenging the fine and asking to discuss it at the next meeting. I attached photos proving my mailbox matched the approved color and my trash cans were moved on time. I ended with a nudge about following bylaws and suggested we review them together. I hit send, thinking it'd be settled fairly. Boy, was I wrong. The next morning, my doorbell rang at 7:15 a.m. time for emergencies, not HOA drama. I opened the door in my robe to find Lisa, arms crossed, face red with fury. Her SUV was parked at an angle, blocking my car. "We need to talk about your email," she said, her voice icy. "You're making serious accusations about how I run this association." I blinked, still half asleep. "I didn't accuse anyone, Lisa. I just pointed out the bylaws." She cut me off. "I've been president for 5 years. I know the rules better than you. Your email is wrong, and challenging me like that is stirring up trouble." I took a deep breath. "I'm not causing trouble. I just want us to follow the rules." She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a creepy whisper. "Listen up. I've worked hard to keep this neighborhood perfect. People like you move in and think you're above the rules. Keep this up, and things will get tough for you." Before I could respond, she spun around, yelling over her shoulder. "The fines stand. Pay by the deadline. And fix that tacky hose." I stood there, coffee mug in hand, watching her peel out. Did she just threaten me over a garden hose? I wasn't backing down. That night, I forwarded my email and a summary of Lisa's VY sit to the board. 2 members replied with sympathy but seemed nervous about confronting her. I could tell they'd felt her wrath before. The board meeting was set for Monday, and in the days leading up to it, I noticed Lisa's SUV creeping by my house way too often. Once, I caught her snapping photos of my yard. I double-checked everything. Me hose was now coiled like a work of art. I wasn't GIVYing her an inch. Monday evening, I walked into the community center with a folder of EVY Denke. Neighbors greeted me, some with looks that said they'd heard about my clash. Lisa sat at the head of the table, shuffling papers like she was running a corporation, ignoring me. When it was time for appeals, I laid out my case, photos, bylaw quotes, and questions about the fine's missing second signature and warning. Lisa's face turned beet red, her fancy pen gripped like a weapon. "This is a waste of time," she snapped. "The board trusts me. We have bigger issues." But then, to her shock, board member DeVYD Kim spoke up. "Actually, he's got a point. The bylaws require a second signature, and I didn't sign this." Sarah Nguyen nodded. "I haven't reviewed any notices in months. I thought we had fewer violations," Lisa faltered. "Well, most cases were so obvious I didn't want to bother you," she stammered, then regained her edge. "But fine, let's waste time on every little thing." After debate, the board voted 4-1 Lisa dissenting to cancel my fine and re-VYEW the violation process. Lisa stormed out, avoiding everyone's eyes. I went home feeling a small win for justice. Then things got wild. 2 days later, a certified letter arrived, needing my signature. It was a new notice, now with a second signature that looked suspiciously like Lisa's handwriting. It repeated the same violations, plus a new DULA 500 fine for causing community discord. It also threatened a lien on my house if I didn't pay in 7 days. Community discord? That wasn't even in the bylaws. A lien needed a full board vote, which hadn't happened. I scanned the letter and emailed the board, calling out the fake signature an illegal lien. The next morning, my phone blew up with texts from neighbors. "Have you seen the video?" they asked. I opened our neighborhood's social media group and saw a post from my neighbor Emma, captioned, "Caught on camera, our HOA president committing a crime." I hit play and my jaw dropped. There was Lisa, stomping across my lawn at dusk, yanking open my mailbox, and pulling out what looked like the certified letter. She flicked a lighter, set the envelope on fire, and dropped it into my metal planter, muttering, "No one finds me." She walked off smirking, clueless about my camera. I was stunned. Tampering with mail is a federal crime. Burning legal documents, trespassing, maybe even arson if that fire had spread. This was serious. The comments were on fire too. A retired postal worker noted mail tampering could mean 5 years in prison. A lawyer neighbor said destroying lien notices could be fraud. As I stood there, reeling, DeVYD Kim called. "Did you see it?" he asked. "Just now," I said. "She's lost it." He told me the board was holding an emergency meeting and suggested I call the police. I did, filing reports with the local cops and Postal Service, handing over the video and documents. That night's emergency meeting was packed with neighbors, many first-timers. Lisa texted that she was sick and didn't show. The board voted unanimously to suspend her and named DeVYD interim president. As I left, Emma texted, "Cops at Lisa's house. Multiple cars." Driving home, I saw flashing lights at her perfect colonial. The next morning, the neighborhood buzzed. Lisa was arrested for mail tampering, document destruction, trespassing, and attempted fraud. The local news ran a story. HOA president faces federal charges for burning mail. An audit of HOA records uncovered years of unauthorized fines, forged signatures, and thousands in missing funds. Lisa had bullied neighbors into paying, pocketing cash while claiming it was for community projects. 3 weeks later, I sat in court as Lisa walked in, her usual swagger gone, replaced by a plain navy suit. The judge tore into her. "Ms. Harper, you abused your position to intimidate neighbors and committed crimes when challenged," he said. She got 18 months probation, 200 hours of community service, restitution to homeowners, a DULA 10,000 fine, and a 10-year ban from HOA boards. Lisa tried to argue, voice shaking. "I was just protecting our standards." The judge wasn't having it. "Standards built on fraud and fear are worthless. Maybe community service will teach you what leadership isn't." As she was led away, our eyes met. The woman who'd ruled with a clipboard and threats looked broken. Her reign went up in smoke, just like my fine notice, and Sunny Meadows was finally free.